Alright, this week we've learned how to get decent eyes and mouths, even noses. Today, we're going to learn how to lay out a face. We're going to learn about proportion, where these things go within a head. Let me get to a clean page. Not quite clean. Not quite clean again. Here we go. When you're drawing human faces, the easiest place to start is with the head, just the shape of the head. As you're laying out, we construct, we refine, and then we finish. For constructing the head, we're going to use an oval shape. Easiest way to get a good oval is to get your arm moving in the right direction until you feel like you like the kind of shape that your hand is making. Then let your pencil just slowly, lightly touch the paper. Keep going around and around until you've achieved the kind of oval that you're happy with. Once you've achieved that oval that you're happy with, you can come in and sort of darken up the good lines and leave the rest. We'll eventually erase the rest, but for now, let's just leave it be. Oval. First thing we're going to do to get this face, we're going to use something called lines of symmetry. Lines of symmetry help us divide the face down into equal places, into equal sections, so that way whenever we start adding in all of our features, eyes, nose, mouth, they'll be in the right place. First line of symmetry is right down the middle, dividing one half with the other. Your second line of symmetry is going to run horizontally across the face, right in the middle, or as close to the middle as you can get from eyeballing. If you wanted to get really, really precise, you could use a ruler for these parts. You could measure out the width, divide it in half, mark a mark wherever the exact middle is. Same thing for the top and bottom, and then get your lines going that way. But being able to eyeball it, it's a good skill to have. If you practice, you'll get better at it. Lines of symmetry. Symmetry is in the word symmetrical, as in a type of balance. Symmetrical means same on both sides. These lines of symmetry will help us be able to keep things the same and even throughout our face. Our first facial proportion that we're going to talk about today is on the center horizontal line. This line that's in the center, this is your eye line. Your first proportion is that your face is 5 eyes wide. There's an eye width between your eye and the side of your head, an eye width where your eye is, an eye width in between, an eye width where your eye is, and an eye width between the edge of your eye and the other side of your head. So if we break this line down into 5 equalish parts, we'll know about where our eyes need to go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sections. And for now, we'll just put in a really simple sort of placeholder to remind us about where these eyes are going to go whenever we get to that point. For now, we're just constructing. We're laying things out. Your next proportion between your eye line and your chin, about halfway down, that's about where your nose is going to rest. The proportion of your nose to your face, it's usually no wider than the inside edge of each eye. So if you go from the inside edge of this eye straight down, inside edge of this eye straight down, you've blocked out exactly where your nose needs to fit. We've laid out noses before, but for now, I'm just going to lay out really, really simple. Parentheses, shallow U, nostril, nostril. That works. Now, halfway between your nose and chin, a little bit above that, they say it's a third of the way down. So if you took from here to here and divided it up into 3 equal sections, that top third, that's where your mouth is going to live. The proportion of your mouth, the size and placement of it in relationship to the rest of your face. We know that it's a third of the way down from nose to chin. For its width, for how wide it's supposed to be, if we go straight down from the center of each eye, that should give us about the width of our mouth. So we know that our mouth is going to fit in here. Really basic mouth shape. I'm not refining anything yet, not finalizing anything yet. I'm just laying things out. Lines of symmetry, eye line. Face is 5 eyes wide. Block it out into 5 equal sections to show you where your eyes belong. Once you know where your eyes belong, you'll know how wide to make your nose and how wide to make your mouth to make them proportional to the rest of the face. Your ears. If we extend this line that the nose is on out just a little bit, your ears fit between your eye line and your nose line. I don't think my line was straight over here. That looks all right. Ears between eye line and nose line. Now we have the upper half of the head to deal with. If you take the upper half of your head, divide it in half, that's going to be about where your hairline begins. If you imagine between your hairline and your eye line, if you can imagine breaking that down into 3 equalish sections, your eyebrows are going to pretty much line up with this bottom third. This one. They follow the curve of the eye, usually. Sometimes they're bushy, sometimes they have different angles than the eyes, but this bottom half of the top half of your head, break it down into thirds. So 1, 2, 3. At the top of this bottom third, that's about where your eyebrows are going to set. For your hairline, there's a million different hairlines out there. And if you have hair, you have a hairline. A line, a boundary where your hair stops and your forehead begins. Sometimes they go straight across, sometimes they're rounded, sometimes it's more of a widow's peak where it goes up on the sides. No matter what your hairline is, you probably have some of this business over here. What is this business called? Sideburns, that's what it is. A little bit of hair that goes down in front of your ear. We can snake it up to where we know that hairline's going to be. A little bit of sideburn over here. Snake that line up to where this hairline's going to be. And for your hair, though this is how we construct the face, we know that our head is not really this shape, right? Your head does not look like an egg. The top of your cranium, the top of your skull, is more rounded and wider than the bottom half. So your hair, unless if you're shaved down, even if you're shaved down really, really close, the top half of the head is going to end up being rounded out more like a sphere than like the end of an egg. From here, it's all details. All details. Refining and finishing the eyes, refining and finishing the nose, refining and finishing the mouth and ears and hair, getting all the shading and values. This is our facial layout.